South Africa has announced its commitment to deploy 2,900 troops as part of the Southern African Development Committee force tasked with addressing armed groups in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. As stated by the President's office on Monday, the deployment, spanning from December 15, 2023 to December 15, 2024, is expected to cost around 2 billion rand, according to the statement. The SADC, comprising 16 member states, sanctioned the mission in Eastern Congo in May last year to assist the nation in addressing instability and deteriorating security in the region. Known for its significant cobalt and copper production, this SADC force, empowered with the offensive mandate to bolster Congo's army in combating armed groups, while include troops from Malawi and Tanzania. The deployment coincides with Congo's efforts to counter the threat posed by the M23 rebels, whose recent attacks and advances near the North Kivu provincial capital of Goma have escalated tensions. I think that this M23 is becoming a serious headache for the government of Congo. And sometimes it's difficult to know what these groups they want. Because if you look at a country like Congo, right, they are Congo with all their resources, and you wonder, why can the government not make a peace deal with the rebels? Why can the rebels not sit down and negotiate with the government? Why can the rebels and the government realize that they fighting each other, they both will lost? By fighting each other, the two of them lose. They cannot keep on fighting each other like this. They will have to negotiate at a certain point in time. But I feel like in Congo, it's just like a continuous occurrence in the country. Like the groups just keep on popping up from one end to another and fighting each other till the death, and then a next group just pop up and then continue with the same fighting. No one has been able to get a solution to Congo's problem. No one. And the white or the Westerners or the Chinese have used this like an advantage to get things for themselves. Can you blame them? Can you really blame them? If we Africans let ourselves to be deceived, to be used, to be manipulated by outsiders, can you really blame the outsiders or blame us? Because we'll be singing about this for far too long, that only us, the Africans, can resolve our problems. Only us, the Africans, can fix our problems, can fix our continent. But when you see these groups don't want to sit down, don't want to talk, don't want to see eye to eye, they just want to fight each other. That tells you how the African mind or African people or some of those people who are involved in the fighting really are. But enough of that. So let's move on to our next story for the day. The African Union issued a strong condemnation on Tuesday against the recruitment and utilization of children in armed conflicts across Africa, urging an immediate end to such practices. Encouraging member states to take decisive and targeted measures, the AU emphasized the need to safeguard children's rights, particularly against the recruitment and involvement of boys and girls in conflict settings. It urged African nations to intensify efforts in ensuring the prompt release of children, with a priority placed on their demobilization and reintegration into society. The AU emphasized that children caught in conflict situations are inherently victims, highlighting their vulnerability to manipulation and exploitation, which mitigate their culpability as perpetrators given their age and evolving capacities. Yeah, that is right. Sometimes children are easily manipulated into doing things they don't want to do, and sometimes they are forced into doing it, and we cannot really hold them accountable for what they've done. Child soldiers is something that you find very, very common in Africa. Like most of these insurgency groups in Africa use child soldiers, which is really, really bad because you cannot turn children into monsters. This really affects the mental health of the child. But in Africa, people just do things because they can and have little or no regards for the other person, which is quite sad. Which is quite sad. So the AU is not saying that this has to stop, and member states have to take decisive decisions to stamp this out, which I personally think that is a great move by the AU to kind of like bring more light on this issue because it was becoming a forgotten issue in Africa, whereby it was taking place within Africa and people were not really talking about it. So let's hope that these nation states, these AU member states, will do their job, will try their best to eradicate such a practice within the continent. So let's move on to our next story for the day. President Akufo-Addo recently inaugurated the Botaman Sports Complex, a state-of-the-art multipurpose sport facility, just 1 month before the commencement of the 13 All-African Games scheduled to take place from March 8 to 23, 2024. This event is a significant milestone for Ghana's Sporting Committee. The commissioning signifies the facility's readiness to host various sports courts and accommodates training sessions for athletes gearing up for the games, with venues equipped for indoor games like swimming, tennis, volleyball, and handball. The complex promises to provide top notch facilities for participants. President Akufo-Addo emphasized the importance of a successful event, urging the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the local organizing committee to ensure impeccable hospitality for visitors. I don't know how much money is being made on sport like this. I don't know if it is really that profitable to the economy or not. But Ghana is undergoing a lot of economic crisis. Ghana is just surviving through the help of the IMF and the World Bank. If not of that, if not of the bailout given to them, Ghana would have been unable to pay their bills and they might have been under by now. They might have gone under by now. So to see them organizing lavish events like this one make you wonder what their priority really is. And I read a few comments. Most Ghanaians were not happy about the games. They were like, we are having a lot of issue in Ghana. We cannot even pay our own bills. The inflation is killing us. The government is doing nothing to help us. Our country is on a life support because the government has stolen so much money and they've mismanaged a lot of things. And then all we hear is our beloved president, Nana Akufo-Addo, inaugurating sport complex for games. How does that benefit the common pa who sells pepper at the end of the market? How does that benefit the common man who has nothing to eat in the day? How does that benefit that little guy, that little student whose parents cannot afford to pay his or her fees? How does that benefit them? But I guess we might be too low or too unreasonable to be thinking about this. Let's see how much impact this game will have on the lives of the people in Ghana. So let's wait and see. Let's continue with our next story for the day. South Africa has submitted an urgent request to the International Court of Justice regarding Israel's proposed ground invasion of Rafah city in the southern Gaza Strip, urging the court's intervention to safeguard Palestinian rights. In a statement issued on Tuesday, the South African government urgently appealed to the ICJ to evaluate Israel's recent announcement of its intent to expand its military presence in Rafah, which serves as the last refuge for surviving individuals in Gaza. The office of the South Africa's presidency expressed deep concern over the unprecedented military escalation targeting Rafah, fearing that it has already resulted in significant loss of life and will continue to cause further large-scale casualties. The statement emphasized the potential violation of the Genocide Convention and the ICJ's order of January 26, 2024, if Israel proceeds with its military offensive in Rafah. Israel has got to stop this. Israel has got to stop all these killings of Palestinian people in Gaza. Israel has got to stop the occupation in the West Bank. Israel has got to realize that doing this wouldn't bring them the much needed peace and security that they wanted, but rather radicalize a lot more Palestinians into fighting for their rights. I don't know if people realize this or if the Israeli authorities realize this or not, but they doing this isn't bringing peace to the people of Israel. It's just causing more harm to the people of Israel. And that is just it. You can keep on doing the same thing but expecting a different result. That is insanity. But to you guys out there, let us know what you think about our show of today. And among the stories we covered so far, which of them really resonated with you? Leave us a comment in the comment section below because we love hearing from you. And also, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please kindly do that. We shall appreciate it so much. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for sharing the video. And until next time that we meet again, we say thank you and please be safe. And to my brothers and sisters in Nigeria, please be strong. Better days are ahead of us. Be strong. Thank you and goodbye.